Hi ho, everybody, and welcome to a more sort of, I guess, I don't know if it'll be posted under this title, but I think we're calling these things internally I Just Saw, which is our sort of spin-off, more, just, here's like a more one-on-one, simpler sort of discussion, and there was something very big that happened recently that I felt compelled to touch on, and I immediately knew who I wanted to discuss this with.
I don't know why.
To introduce our guest star, that's what I'm here to do. So it really makes me happy to introduce to you.
But I'm of course joined by perhaps the most Muppet person I know, Elle.
I literally don't know why you called me about this. Like,
whoa!
Yes. Oh, I have two. I have Miss Piggy as well.
Oh my god!
I don't know why you.
Look at her little bonnet.
Oh, it's so cute, and she has gloves because of course she does.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know why you called me about this. Like, I know like the most basic stuff. Like, I'm a very casual. Like, I grew up with it, sure, but I mean, never really watched it past, I don't know, 5. Who knows?
But yes, there was of course the Muppet Show special, produced by Seth Rogan and starring Sabrina Carpenter and Maya Rudolph, that came out a while ago, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it as two people that are pretty big just lovers and appreciators of a lot of Jim Henson's work.
Oh, Rolf, have you been playing this whole time?
Well, what'd you think it was? Some kind of sentimental montage in your head?
I think before we kind of get into that, though, I think the important thing to discuss is before this came out and before even this announcement happened, what was, I don't want to say autopsy. I don't want to, because that implies death, but like, what was this, what do you feel like the state of the Muppets was, especially in the hands of Disney, like even just this announcement?
Pre the announcement, because it was sort of in this weird limbo of like after Muppet Haunted Mansion and Muppets Mayhem. It was in this, it was just like finally Disney's doing something. And then we got the announcement of Muppets 3D closing, and then we get the Muppet Ride, which put me in a very weird spot of like, I don't want to have hope, but you give me no choice. It felt very odd. It was like this weird limbo of like, maybe we'll get something close. Because when I watched Muppets Mayhem, it did feel Muppet-esque. Like almost the Hellenistic period of Greece. Like, I'm just like, this is close, but not, but I don't think we're ever going to return back to where it was, which, you know, and I was coming to terms with being okay with that. And even though I wasn't, but I was just like, you know what? As long as there's something Muppet out there, like even if they just did Muppet Babies,
right?
As long as it's there, that's okay. And I was also scared that we were going to be in the territory that seems the Muppet fans wanted it to go towards, which is just remakes of classics. And don't get me wrong, I love Treasure Island, I love Christmas Carol, but those are two outliers. That is not Muppets. I'm sorry, we don't need a Muppet remake of every movie ever made. That's not. It's a fun
exercise to be like, hey, like if we did like, I don't even know what, Muppet Lord of the Rings or something. Like it's a fun exercise to be like, okay, who's like, sure, yeah, but I think like I don't think, but like when I think about like my favorite Muppet stuff, it's when they're not. Like, especially like movies, it's not so much when they're engaging in overt parody. Like, obviously, the original Muppet movie, Great Muppet Caper, the 2011 Muppet movie,
Muppets Take Manhattan.
Muppets Take Manhattan, which is more of a Kermit movie, in my opinion, than a Muppet movie, because they basically are gone for most of it. But I don't really look at that as a complaint necessarily. It's just like it's doing something different.
It is once again just trying to get the Muppets back together. And and everyone seems to be tired of that, but I will never be tired of it, because the fact that these long-term friends that try to do theater productions together keep on splitting up and having to get back together. That's so real. And so I'll never get tired of that.
Yeah. And I mean, that concern of retreading new ground then sort of brings us to when the announcement of like, we're going to do the Muppet Show again. And this is something that people have been saying, you should just do this for a long, long time. I think I at one point even said that. And I think is it going to work? Because like, it's like, even when the Muppet Show premiered, it's like harping on vaudeville, which like wasn't even really a thing when it premiered. But variety shows were in the 70s, so it's like able to kind of ride that. They're not as much of a thing now. And also like, are we also retreading the ground of something like even like the 2011 Muppet movie, where it's like, there's a wonderful like element. So like when you get that moment of like, wow, they're doing the intro again, they're doing the Muppet Show again, like Kermit is saying like the intro again, like it really lands, I think, emotionally. And so there was a concern of like, okay, 14 years later, we're doing that again. They're doing the intro again. Kermit's doing the intro again. They're doing the Muppet Show again. Like did you have any concerns when they announced that like we're doing it again?
Oh yeah, I had so many. I was just like, if you guys, because I knew it was sort of that back in the mind thing. I knew if it didn't work, the Muppets weren't going to work for a long time. And that always hits because it happens. I was going to say, the timing of Muppets is everything. It's so insane. You have to know what to do at what point, because that's what got them to fall in the first place, is because, you know, they had that rise after Jim passed when they did Christmas Carol, and then they didn't know what to do after that. I feel like the cheapest Muppet movie ever made would have fit perfectly in that time. If you guys don't know about the concept of the cheapest Muppet movie ever made, it's a Muppet movie that progressively they lose their budget more and more and more as it goes on, because they just blow it in the first half. They needed to be grand because they needed to ride that high, and they didn't. They did very down to earth. Like, even they needed to be grand, but they were too scared to do it. And I understand that, but people wanted those like big productions, and you need a lot of money for that. And, you know, if they didn't have it at the time and everything like that, I understand. But those small little dips didn't work. And then after 2011 Muppet movie, they had another big thing, but it was not such a big production thing. It was more of like that small, here they are again, reintroducing them. So then we needed those origins. And instead we got an adult-like show with ABC Muppet Show, which was fantastic, but for reintroducing them to a new, younger audience, probably didn't work.
It's a weird follow-up to Most Wanted.
Yes, because Most Wanted was that silly, goofy, childlike thing, because you're introducing it to a new thing. I think Most Wanted was a good stepping stone. I feel like it was heading in the right direction, but then they sort of, But I feel like now they're getting it. After seeing the special, I'm like, yes, simply because of one thing, and that is the marketing that they're doing. Peak marketing, absolute perfect marketing. Because everyone right now is interested in celebrities again, which is when the Muppets thrive, because they need a celebrity guest. And when celebrities aren't doing great, people lose interest. Because when we look at that time post 2011, we see a lot of them doing these interview things, but we didn't care about celebrities then. So we didn't care about, you know, Kermit and Miss Piggy doing an interview together. We were like, why do we need that? I don't care about Kermit's love life right now. Who is Denise? Why do we care? All of we're not gonna bring that up. And like, they tried to do the late night talk shows and things like that, but it wasn't the vibe then. But now with like everyone joking about Ariana and Cynthia and Hudson and Connor and you know, what is Timothy Chalamet doing? What is everyone's caring again. And so now it's their time to like, yeah, I want to know what's the state of Miss Piggy and Kermit's relationship right now. You know, the online beef between Sabrina and Miss Piggy right now, like they're in a legal battle. Jennifer Lawrence said it's an insult for her to play Miss Piggy because only Miss Piggy can play Miss Piggy. You know, things like that where we're interested in it again. I feel like that's they're finding their beat again. Like, I feel like if they did a big grand, you know, CGI spectacle Avengers-esque movie, it wouldn't have worked. It would have worked after Christmas Carol, wouldn't have worked now because that's not the audience now. That's not what we're wanting. And I don't think it would have worked in 2020 or, you know, in the like early 2020s during that nostalgia reboot craze. They're trying to feel it out. I feel like Muppets Mayhem was like they're throwing something at the wall and it stuck and started sliding, and they were like, okay, we can work with this. We can work with this.
I mean, they were definitely, like, I think starting to introduce a bit more of that, like, mature element, I feel, in May. I mean, there's just straight up, like, not even an illusion. They just straight up name Meet the Feebles at one point when Peter Jackson shows up, and they're like, that was a dark, dark day. And I was like, oh, I did not ever think, especially post-Disney buyout, the Muppets would ever reference so much as name drop Meet the Feebles, but here we are.
I had a comment that the special felt like not the Muppet Show, but Muppets Tonight. And I've been rewatching Muppets Tonight. Yes, we need Muppets Tonight. I feel like that's where we are right now.
Oh my God, it's you! You're my idol.
You're sweet. Go on.
Just because of certain things of the thing, and we'll get into that later, that just didn't read as the Muppet Show to me. But it definitely read as Muppets Tonight.
Well, so now we're here in a post Muppet 2020 show special world, and the special has hit the online servers.
There's been a second special to hit the
I hope the second. Yeah,
we're all hoping.
Which I guess kind of gives away overall thoughts. But yeah, how do we feel about the Muppet Show 2026 television special?
I was positively delighted. Now, I have pros and cons. It wasn't perfect, of course it's not going to be. Again, it wasn't the Muppet Show. It was Muppets Tonight, which is fine. I feel like that's great for the current fan base of the Muppets, where they want Kermit to say the F word so bad. I do too. They didn't do what the Muppet Show does, and that is allow their celebrities to do something that they're not going to normally do or have the opportunity to do. As much as I love Sabrina singing, she basically just did what she normally does on, like, she could have been on Jimmy Kimmel doing the exact same thing, singing Islands in the Stream and Man-Child. It's the thing that the Muppets do where they're just like, Christopher Reeves is going to play piano right now. And, like, something that the performers don't normally do, you know. There was one that she is a comedian, but they were just like, let's tap dance. And it's just something I would have liked that, and that would have felt more Muppet Show rather than Muppets Tonight. Now, don't get me wrong, Muppets Tonight does that. Like, Garth Brooks didn't sing a single country song while he was on it. He just he decided to sing If I Were a Rich Man in full Fiddler on the Roof outfit. You know, and, you know, he nailed it. He did such a good job.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like, I mean, the one I think about a lot, because its convolution, or its execution is so kind of convoluted, and that's what makes that episode always stick out in my mind, is the Mark Hamill episode. Yes. Because they couldn't just have Mark Hamill on the episode. They have Mark Hamill, and then they have Mark Hamill show up specifically as Luke Skywalker. Yes. And Mark Hamill is like, that's my cousin.
Yeah, and they exist in the same field. Yeah.
Yeah, and which is like, I think also was, I think, some sort of decision of like preserving the magic, sort of a la George Reeves appearing as Superman on the I Love Lucy show. But yeah, like, you know, it's like, and then like Mark Hamill is like, well, then what do you do, Mark Hamill? And he's like doing throat singing or something, and it's like, yeah, and this is much more in line, I think, with like a talk show almost, where it's like, here is a celebrity, we're gonna have them do the thing they're known for, and it's probably tying in with some sort of current wave that they're riding. I think there's like this misconception younger folks have about the celebrities on the Muppet Show, that just because like the thing we most know them for came out like 15, 20 years before the Muppet Show came out for some of these guests, that they were somehow over the hill, and that is not the case. Like they had some people that were like the peak of their career was when that show was airing as well.
The first time the Banana Boat song was ever performed was on the Muppet Show. And that's because he didn't want to do it anywhere else. He wanted to do it there. And like, these were at the peaks, like maybe in the very beginning, like the first season. Yeah, there's some but Joel Grey performed like Cabaret on the Muppet Show. And like the original MC. So it's like, so there's definitely like a bit of a twinge where it's like there's something in the performance. Like they do that with every one of the three like musical performances. Like something goes wrong, but with the two involving Sabrina, like nothing happens to her necessarily. And you know, I mean, I'm not accusing her of like putting some sort of thing in her rider where she's like, I'm not allowed to be the recipient of any slapstick or something. And this is also only one episode, so it's like it's hard to judge. I also thought it was weird though, because Sabrina, like, I forget what performance it was, but it was sort of like a goes wrong show where like the light didn't sync. She did something at like the VMAs or something where it's like the riser didn't come in. There was like some sort of like slapstick involving her and the dancers. The like quick change didn't work. The spot, like, so it's like that's very her sense of humor. Yeah, and she does that even with her actual shows. Like the mic doesn't come down all the way, and she can't reach it, and like. She trips over the stairs, which is actually done because you know stairs in those boots is insane. And to be fair, I mean they do that with our other two guest stars. Like Seth Rogen is the executive producer, and he gets cut. I thought that was really funny. And Maya Rudolph dies. Maya Rudolph dies.
We are so excited to be back where it all started and then ended, and then is maybe starting again, depending on how tonight goes.
Some little things that I just noted and appreciated. I'm sure you have some too. Like one of my favorite line I think in the entire special is actually from Seth Rogen, and it's when he's in the audience after he gets cut. Guy's not canon. And he's like, he says armadillo, and he's like, I can't believe they kept the armadillo in a tutu. That guy's not even canon. I literally have that written. It's so funny. No, my two favorite things is that, and then that weird trip guy that's like, see, you can't trust anyone. Those are good. I love when Kermit is introducing Rizzo and the rats, and he's like, or should I say the rat-infested streets. Ooh. I love... first off, can we talk about Rizzo's comeback? Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so happy, but that's Chuck E. Cheese's voice actor, and you can't convince me otherwise. Like, that is Chuck E. Cheese. I'm so sorry. Ew, I believe it. Everyone's harping on Matt, and I get it, but he's done so much improvement. I will say, I guess we have to talk about the frog in the room. The frog in the throat, yeah. And that is, this special has proven to me, and I think I was a very early critic of Matt, and I understand people are very attached to, not even Jim. I think the Kermit most people are attached to are Steve, whether or not they realize it. And it's like, by the time the 2011 Muppet movie came out, he'd been doing Kermit for like over 20 years. I think for a lot of people, he is Kermit. And so that, whether for better or worse, I think that's the guiding light people kind of look towards. I think the biggest disadvantage, the biggest like quote unquote thing wrong with Matt's performance as Kermit has just been underexposure. I think they just didn't give him enough projects, enough time. I mean, like, and it is funny to me when people keep calling him, and I'm very with Frank Oz on this, I hate when people call him the voice, but because it's more than that, but it's a performance. Yeah, but I think like Matt has been doing Kermit now for almost a decade. He's not new anymore, and I think what really fucked him over is his first time performing Kermit is as Constantine, a fake Kermit, and that really just put a sour taste without people realizing it or not. Like, that's gonna mess things up for you debuting as Kermit, as your first time introducing yourself is as an evil fake version of him.
Like that really set up failure there.
Yeah, but I mean, like he did the live shows at the Hollywood Bowl in the O2 with Bobby Moynihan. He obviously did.
What got me is when I heard his performance with Willie Nelson for Rainbow Connection, and even before that, when they did a live performance of Christmas Carol, and he did one with is when I was like, all right, we just gotta let him cook. Like,
yeah,
give him a minute.
You have to like I guarantee if they made a Muppet movie with Matt Vogel as Kermit, like maybe like there's still a bit of an adjustment period, but I think like after 15 minutes of just listening to that, you'd be like, that's Kermit. Like watching this, by the second time I mean even just like halfway through the special, like 15 minutes into the special, like I didn't question it anymore, and the second time I watched it I was like, oh yeah, I mean I think people are used to how much higher pitched Steve is.
Because Steve is even higher pitched than Jim, and I feel like Matt tries to go into the more natural adult sounding, where it's like, you know, Steve did a lot of kid projects and stuff because that was the direction that the Muppets were going in. So he did more of the like hi ho instead of just like
later Kermit, even for Jim, is definitely I think higher pitched.
Oh yeah, just because it's like the Mickey Mouse effect where you start flanderizing your own voice. And it's just, you know, with being with the character, you're around these events and everything like that. And also, like, probably the soreness in the throat and everything. In terms of, like, Kermit's character, it makes sense that his voice is, like, going more deeper. Because I noticed in the special, like, Fozzie's eyebrows are gray. They're salt and pepper. That's something that only I would notice. But normally they're, like, a brown, like, just a darker brown than his coat. And it's almost like, yeah, like, the Muppets do age. It's not like Elmo or like the Sesame Street characters where they don't, like, they have set ages and they don't age. Like, I always look at it of like how Gonzo has developed. Like, Gonzo has aged. When you look at season 1 Gonzo and you look at now, like, yes, they changed the puppet's design or whatever. But in the universe, like, you gotta put yourself in, like, these are actual celebrities, these are actual people. You can just interpret it as that, and it makes a lot of sense, and like it honestly flows quite easily. Like Miss Piggy looks different. It's like she got work done, and it's something sort of like that.
Yeah,
it's just that early season look, and then now they get new designs, and I love that, like that small detail of like Fozzie having salt and pepper eyebrows. I noticed that only this watch through, and I was like, yeah, like such a tiny thing to do. Or like having Gonzo have more feathers kind of coming. It's just like, it makes him more grounded, more real than just having like these sterilized. Like my first impression of Matt Vogel's Kermit wasn't the voice. I did not care what he sounded like. It was his attitude and the way that they put more foam in the puppet, and you could tell. And so it gave a more sterilized look, and so there was less facial expressions for Matt to even bring the character in. They didn't allow him to do that because, I mean, if you look at Jim Kermit, it's so flat, and then you could tell that that's his hand. There's nothing in there. And then they put a little bit more stuffing with Steve because Steve had smaller hands. And then they just overstuffed it with Matt. But in this special, I feel like they got back to that sort of Steve stuffing era where it's not too much. And it worked. He was so much more expressive with the mouth. We got the scrunch face. We got all that back. We got what I think to me is like the thing that proves to me whether or not you can do Kermit, which is he was able to freak out. I think this is like the first time I've properly seen him mad as Kermit. And that to me is like I think about, like when I think about the defining moments I think about Jim on Sesame Street when Cookie Monster can't guess the orange.
It's something to eat that's round and orange. It's an orange. It's an orange.
I think about Steve on Treasure Island when he's like, who hired this crew?
Who hired this crew?
Who did that?
And like that to me is like when you finally kind of push him over the edge.
Okay, everybody stop!
Because anybody can do hi-ho.
Yeah,
but
everyone can go like, hi guys, oh my god.
Yeah, but like when he's furious, Kermit isn't going to be very nice and gentle all the time. He's gonna have a breaking point. And once again, when I say marketing, like Miss Piggy and Kermit did a lie detector test, like that interview together. Oh yeah.
I really want them on Hot Ones first of all. But they did that, and like Kermit gets to a breaking point. He starts like badgering the witness, sort of, and he goes like, "Miss Piggy, did you unplug this lie detector?" And she goes like, "No, I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about." I want to talk about the relationship of Miss Piggy and Kermit and what they're doing with it now and how refreshing it is. They're friends. They're not trying to do any romantic things. They're just being friends right now. They're being friends right now, and they did the best friends quiz together, and it's like that works, where Kermit can call Miss Piggy beautiful and her saying thank you, and then that's it, and they move on.
Speaking of Piggy, this is one of my favorite little things, and I know they did it just kind of as a reference to Sabrina's look, so they can have the whole gag about like copyright infringement. This is my Muppet nitpick that I have been advocating for years. I am so happy to see curly / wavy hair Piggy come back.
Yes! I hate her.
I miss her curls so much.
She looks gorgeous. If that Sabrina-esque haircut is just your default haircut from now, that's fine. It looks so great on her. I'm also okay with the 40s, like, sort of finger curl, like, because a lot of the interviews and stuff, they're just doing, like, this light, sort of very vintagey old Hollywood look. Yes! Yeah. Piggy needs curls. I'm so sorry. The 2011 bob, I was into that.
Yeah. It felt right for the time.
Mm-hmm. Because she's a girl boss, you know, she needed that, like, Gone Girl bob. Miss Piggy and Gone Girl. Run it back. Girl. Gonzo with the wind. But no, I was into it, and then the lob, the like long, straight Nicki Minaj. Yeah. It makes her look old. I'm so sorry, Miss Piggy, if you ever see this. I'm so sorry, but the curls. It also works with the puppet's movements. Like when she gets it moves with her. It's not so stiff. Let's talk about the outfits in this.
I love how much bespoke.
The Dolly influence. The Dolly Parton influence. Yeah. First off, Dolly is an honorary Muppet, but she's never been on the Muppet Show or Muppet Tonight. It breaks my heart. Get her on there. Before she Catherine O'Hara's away.
Oh God.
So sorry, but don't make treacherous journeys and don't swim in the sea, please. But she just needs to be on it. But because that final look with like the necklace and like the puff sleeve, so good, and even the full lace get up.
I think the most this special made me like feel like a kid again is specifically the moment during the final number during Don't Stop Me when she pops up next to Kermit and Piggy, Kermit and Fozzie, and it's like the three of them there, and they're like, to me, they are like kind of the face. Yeah, and then Gonzo was like riding in. Yeah, and like it's like seeing them together again, those three together again, and she has her curls on that stage. It was like that was when it wasn't like I loved all that other stuff that hit for me, like the intro and all that. Like all that stuff was obviously great, but it was that moment of seeing those three characters, and it felt like seeing a billboard at Hollywood Studios or something all over again. It was
that moment for me was. It's going to sound weird, but it's Maya Rudolph flirting with one of the Muppets in the audience. I don't know why that just brought back such like, because the guest being horny for the Muppets, I've missed it so much because they haven't. And you know what? I wish Sam had a thing for Sabrina. Because when Sam has a thing for one of them, it works so well. And another thing that made me feel that was Scooter saying 30 seconds till curtain.
Oh, yeah.
I screw the intro. I was like sobbing as soon as I heard that. That's how I knew that everything was going to be okay. Is when
and then even Pops is in the lobby.
Yeah,
Pops, asleep.
When I saw Crazy Harry, I haven't seen him in forever.
So it was like all these little, and I appreciated how they kind of incorporated and not just in like the whole like depending how this goes, but I appreciated how they incorporated the fact that for now this was a one-time thing into the plot of like, it feels almost sort of like a meta acknowledgement to the audience of like everybody wants to be involved. Like I get it. Like if you guys want us to do like Pigs in Space, you guys want us to have like Fozzie get his own dedicated thing. You guys want us to do like all the greatest hits. So to incorporate that as like an actual acknowledgement of like, we get it. Like, and if this keeps going, like, don't stop us now. But then also to take the time, I really appreciate they took the time in the midst of all that to be like, we're gonna, because Pigs and Wigs, that's like a new thing, right?
Yeah, Pigs and Wigs. Okay, so I have a thing about Pigs and Wigs because obviously it's like a Bridgerton sort of vibe.
Yeah,
to
and
it
feels like it's harkening back to the dancing segments from
the
like
ballroom
the original two
segment.
like special or pilots, right?
The original 2 pilots and the first 2 to 3 I think they stopped it after the 2nd season, but they would do the ballroom bit, and when I first saw like the camera pan down with the chandelier and I heard that music, I was like, are they bringing about the ballroom? Because the ballroom was always my favorite segment because it's just these quick little bits. It's just like a little something. Like, it's an easy cut for time thing, but like that's the thing with the Muppets is they do those easy cut for time stuff.
Yeah,
just like
it's probably a good way. It's probably a good way to unload all these funny dialogue exchanges that don't have anywhere else to go.
And I also appreciated. Oh gosh, sorry, my boss just texted me. I'm gonna get this real quick. My boss, I was like, she asked me what size and was like doing like exclamation points, and I was like, oh gosh, did I mess up an order for someone's wedding dress? No, she's wondering what size for a Heated Rivalry t-shirt.
Well, I mean, that is just as important.
You know what? And you know what? I really want Hudson and Connor to guest star. I really do. It would work so well.
I mean, again, like it just felt so wonderful to see, like, even all this time later, even like to be continuing probably the oldest long-standing Muppet tradition of doing covers of songs, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and that goes back to Sam and Friends. Like that goes back to.
And
so it's
also,
like,
I feel like it felt really just so heartfelt, and like the people that did this really paid attention when they ended it on a Queen song, and that's how they restarted Muppet stuff, is when they released the YouTube video Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And it just felt like they were harping back to that, and I was just like, someone on this team, someone
cooked here.
Yeah, I was like, they unlike the Stranger Things writers and directors, they actually watched the thing that they were writing about.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And even the modern jokes that they told, like Muppet Labs. First off, they did Muppet Labs.
Oh.
I didn't think they were going to do that. I thought they were going to do Veterinary Hospital or Pigs in Space or something. But I'm so fine if they continue Pigs with Wigs, though. Especially if they bring in like Bridgerton actors for it.
It's the Muppet Show,
And it starts right now.
There's a couple of quotes I read from the director of the special that, like, to me instilled a lot of confidence to me in this project, and I want to hear your perspective. I have 2 quotes, and the first one is, this is from Alex Timbers, who directed it. It says, "It's 2026, but there's no cell phones in the special. Kermit is not using Zillennial slang. The attempt was not to be sweaty or forced about it. It is taking place today, but it's not like the Muppets are desperately trying to channel 2026 jargon or TikTok references." And there's another one. This is the one that really meant a lot to me, because I think, and this is like one of my little pet peeves with like fandom. I think fans are really, really eager to engage with the bit. That like if a character has a delusion about themselves and that character is likable, I think fans are really, really eager to continuously engage with that delusion. And if you're ever like, okay, but like for a second there, like there are some people who, like, if you even refer to the fact that the Muppets have performers at all, they'll be like they will be like, what are you talking about? And it's like, okay, yes, I get it.
And
yes, it's like they are. I get it. They're, and like it's fun. I'm not saying to never engage. And like millions of people have probably talked about the fact that like when they're in the room with you, they are real.
You don't.
And that's not like a weird method acting thing. It's like the final
like a
magic
good
trick
performance. And like
right, but
me
there's
saying that the Muppets age. Like that's just a detail that you notice, and that's just good writing.
But there's
and everything like that. But
there's another quote by Timbers where he says, "This is from an LA Times article. What makes the Muppets so relatable for audiences, Timbers believes, is the disconnect between how the characters think of themselves and how we perceive them. Quote: Piggy sees herself as Meryl Streep, but I think we see her differently. And Fozzie thinks he's John Mulaney. Gonzo thinks he's Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. He thinks he's a stunt genius." But Kermit sees the reality, and I think he really, really lovingly protects them from themselves. And that was like, that to me was like, okay, I think you get it.
Yeah,
I think you get it. Like, and it is fun. It is fun to engage with Piggy as like a genuine fashionista icon. But there is always going to be, I think, this element of like she's not really as good as she thinks she is. And that's where the funny. That's where the comedy of her character comes from. It's fine if she fails. That's what makes her endearing. That's what makes her funny. And it's like, it also is what makes it when she does get a victory, when Sabrina is like, you are my icon, that it makes it like, oh, she got a win.
And
you know?
Even though like Sabrina didn't like get hurt or like nothing happened in her performance, I feel like if it happened during Man-Child, I wouldn't be mad. But I feel like this twist of like not having it happen to her during Islands in the Stream is very nice, because it also like reshapes Piggy's character, because I mean it could be viewed as like that internalized misogyny or whatever you want to say, where like Piggy always feels threatened by the female co-star. But her deciding to just playfully like sing with her instead of being like, I can't believe she's singing with Kermit. It wasn't about that. It was the fact that her song got cut, and then she did a duet. And that was like a big thing for Sabrina, is like when they did one diva to another. Because yes, they are. And like, I feel like when you understand Piggy, of just like, she is a diva. She's not like this big actress, but she is still larger than life, and she is still fantastic and famous, and her fashion is gaudy, but in the same way that Dolly's fashion is gaudy, and like, she's not gonna be walking in the Met Gala with like a simple black dress. Like, she's gonna go all out, and it's gonna be tacky.
And that's why we love her. You know?
Yes.
Isn't it wonderful being back in the theater and giving the people what they truly want?
So to round things out here, and I know we both probably have way more than 5, but I wanted to talk about, you know, if and when this thing gets picked up for a full season, what are 5 just people, celebrities, that we're like we want them to guest star on the Muppet Show?
I have 2 lists of 5. One is realistic and one is non-realistic.
Perfect.
Because, like, obviously, Chappell Roan, they're probably already in talks with her.
Yes.
They're probably already contacted Jack Black again. Those are just things that we just know to be true. But a realistic list would be, I feel like Bill Hader, just because I love him. And I feel like he would be both a good straight man or a Muppet.
There's so many,
Yeah, and he would bring like such a good, you know, and he's already worked with the Muppets. He was in Dark Crystal. He played one of the Mystics in the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. So, and he's also played a puppet before. He was BB-8 in Star Wars for the first of the reboots. So I feel like it you know, even if he played a Muppet, I don't even care if he puppeteers again. Like, him as a Mystic, I didn't even realize that was him. So I'm just like, just get him involved. Dolly Parton, because it's her time. Come on.
Oh my God, yes.
Come on.
Yes.
How have you not done this yet? They have already sung several Dolly Parton songs. It's ridiculous. This is I want them both there at the same time. Martin Short and Steve Martin.
Oh, I had that.
Like, we just need Steve Martin again.
Of course.
And Martin Short was in Muppets Tonight, but I'm like, now that they have done Only Murders in the Building, and like, Come on. And you know what?
Yes.
Get Chevy Chase in there too. Give me the three amigos. Come on. I don't care about the controversy.
The Muppets are the last people that will tolerate Chevy. Because
And you know what? They would. They would.
They're the only people left. They're the only
It's like
people
Community
left.
doesn't even want to work with him anymore.
Oh my god.
This one might be a little unrealistic, but I don't think so. Jinx Monsoon. Because I want that Broadway. She's already, she's toned herself down from her adult RuPaul-ness by being in Adventure Time, but she's still slightly, she's not going to make a cocaine joke, but,
Sure.
she can tone it down. And,
Sure.
I think out of RuPaul girls, I think she's the one to do it if we're gonna do a drag queen. I mean, Nina West was there, but she was out of drag, and it was a blink and you miss it. We gotta have a drag performer. Are you kidding? And I don't think it's gonna be Rue. And then last but not least, for the realistic list, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh my god.
I feel like they're already in talks. He's gonna...
Hamilton. There's something. Do something with that.
There's something there. Do something with that.
Yeah.
Just chuck it at the wall. I just feel like... and then for my unrealistic list, that will probably never happen, but I want it to so bad. Danny Sexbang and just NSP in general. Danny loves the Muppets so much, and with his look is already inspired by Gonzo. His dog is named Camilla. Please, he would love it. Not saying Aaron and him. I'm not even saying bring Ninja Brian on it, although Ninja Brian's basically already a Muppet. Just please. Jacob Anderson, if you don't know him, he plays Louis in Interview with a Vampire. He's such a fun guy, and I feel like he would bring the serious Shakespearean by also being funny, but I don't think it's gonna happen because I don't think he's famous enough or whatever. I don't care. I want him there. Doechii.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Could be Megan the Stallion as well, but Doechii. Please. This, I think, would be very, very, very funny. Even if they just did a parody. Mr. Beast. It would be really funny. Imagine we've stuck Gonzo in an entire...
We strapped him to a wrecking ball.
Please. I feel like either they're in a Mr. Beast video, they have a Mr. Beast who is an actual Beast puppet, or something along those lines. And last but not least, the drag performers that I do want that won't happen is the Boulet brothers. They host Dragula.
Oh.
They use puppets and it would work, but I don't think Disney would allow. That's the thing. The Muppets, if they were independent, absolutely.
Sure.
Muppets owned by Disney? Ooh.
It's really hard to tell because there is just straight up a kink joke, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing that I put in my pros section. So I had a pros and cons list, but in my pros was not scared of a sex joke and Muppet violence. We have Muppet sex and violence, guys.
Finally.
Finally. God, I miss it.
We're still working out a few kinks.
Oh, that's all right. I love a kink.
You brought up two that were top of my list, which was Dolly Parton and Steve Martin and Martin Short. Purely because he was a surprise guest star when they did the show at the O2. I think I would be really fun to see David Tennant.
Ooh, and Michael Sheen.
Especially because I think doing if they just do the Doctor Who skit they did at the O2 with
Perfect.
David Tennant, I think I would be fine
and
with
Shooty.
that.
I feel like
Yeah.
Shooty would also. Oh my gosh.
Pretty much any doctor, get them on. You know what? Purely because he's one of my favorite character actors, and he played Gonzo in that one LA reading. I'd love to get David Dastmalchian on there.
Yeah,
I love David.
and he works with the Boulet brothers, so there's a connection there. There's a connection.
He has heart to me, and that I think would be a really wonderful fit.
Any person that is a little gay, love to see on the Alan Cumming. I would also like to see.
Oh my god, yeah!
Just to have another callback to Cabaret as well, have Joel Grey, and then any country music artists at the moment, because country in the Muppets, I feel like we've been disconnected for a while, and I would like to meet that back up because country in everyone has been disconnected, and I feel like we need to bring that back. You know, Drag Race, Trixie, I thought would be fun just because Trixie already looks like Miss Piggy. I think Miss Piggy should be on Trixie Mattel's channel if they would allow. Because some of the people that I think would be good with the Muppets, maybe not on the show, but in something like if they did a collab on YouTube.
Something more informal. Yeah. These next two, this first one's kind of unrealistic because I don't even know if he ever wants to do anything on media ever again. And this last one is literally impossible. But like, just because I regardless of how his stuff ages, I think he'll always have my heart, is Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
He's kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, which, I mean, fair, but I think I'm always fascinated by edgy artists being forced to operate within a relatively family-friendly media, and that's why I think a lot of like George Carlin doing Thomas and Friends is really fascinating.
Yes.
Oh my god, George would have been so much fun.
Oh god, there's so many like celebrities that didn't get a chance to be on the Muppets that are now gone. Like Catherine O'Hara, she would have been freaking fantastic. So that's my last one. My big one is he never got a shot, as far as I know, and it would have been so much fun. Is from Twilight Zone fame, Rod Serling. I would have loved Rod Serling to be on the Muppet Show. And I also just want really, really serious actors on it, because that's what they did a lot of the times. Yeah. Ian McKellen.
Get Giancarlo Esposito and get him to let him be funny again.
If Johnny Knoxville.
And Johnny's like, Gonzo, you've been such a big inspiration, you know.
Gonzo, I love your work, you know. And then they do like some awful stuff,
insane stunt where they strap Gonzo to the horn of a rhino or something,
and then have the rhino go into Johnny, and I fully believe that the Muppets can work in any single like special reality show, whatever. Like, get them on Love Island, get them on The Bachelor, get them on they work in every setting, because no matter where they are, they're gonna mess it up.
So the possibilities are there.
There's so much, and people want it, and I mean, they've been wanting it.
I from everything I've seen, critically, audience wise, this thing has been a resounding success.
What got me is it wasn't like an hour-long special. It was the length of a Muppet Show. It had the beats, and in my prose, I wrote ad breaks. There's ad breaks in it. Like, I don't have special premium whatever, and like people might be upset that like I paid money, and like that's a whole other thing with streaming services. But just like, first off, in Muppet Labs, they draw attention to the lack of attention span and things like that.
There's a lot of love and attention to really craft this to feel like another episode, and to not. Because what I was terrified of was that they were going to run the gambit, and they were like, we have to squeeze every single greatest hit into this, and they didn't do that. They were like, no, like, let's really be like, if this was just another episode that we made, what would that be like? And to instead incorporate the fact that like incorporate the temptation to do a greatest hits as an actual like plot point into it, I think is really clever, of like acknowledging, especially the way it ends, you know, with that Queen song.
We don't have time to do all this.
But like, hey, like, you know, something could be across the horizon. So yeah.
Hola.
This is what we call a Muppet Show.
So to round this out, then, I guess since this is similarly formatted to our other things, I guess I feel compelled to ask those. Would you recommend The Muppet Show 2026?
Feel like I have to advertise it the same way Angel Studios advertises their movies, where it's just like, everyone in the world must see this movie. Buy tickets. Buy your neighbor's tickets. It's so important for everyone to witness this. Like,
is the event of the year.
It's the event. It will change your life. Like, just for the simple thing of like, to let Disney know that we want this.
This is a really wonderful encapsulation of what this is and why it still works, and, you know, show up, because I think everybody could get something out of it. So yeah, I absolutely, if you haven't checked it out already, please, you know, and
please,
check it out.
Sabrina song.
Obviously, there's a long list of Muppets. that I'm sure we want to see make an appearance, like Robin and all that. But the very last thing,
Robin was there, but Walter was not.
He was allegedly on set. I don't know what that means.
He was
there was somebody who toured it, and he was like, "No, I saw him there." And you were like, "You mean like someone like was operating him, or that he was just like on a shelf?"
I think he might have been in the audience. I would have liked if he was just in the audience watching it.
Yeah.
Yes, let him shadow Scooter as if he's going to be the new Gopher.
Oh my god, that would be fun.
Because I ship them really bad.
You know what?
Scooter is gay. He's played by a gay man, so I mean.
Can't believe they're doing the old show again.
Well, if it ain't broke.
No, they are broke. That's why they're doing it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. And
I will always have time for Muppets.
Of course, I as well. And thank you everybody for joining. If you enjoy what we do here, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what you thought about, this new Muppet special. If you want to see, a new season, what your favorite part of it was. And thank you all for watching. I love you all, and good night.